So hi there. Today I'm doing something a little different in that, as the best of my knowledge, I've not seen anyone else try this. This is something I sort of discovered by accident trying to do something else. And what I call it is washed ink. So washed ink, as I'm calling it, is simply ink that's been lightly washed with water. And I discovered it by accident because I was trying to put ink in a glass bowl and then swirl around trying to get some sort of tie-dye effect. And it wasn't working very well. And when I took the glass container in to wash it off, almost immediately I saw something that was just really, really cool. Sort of makes me think of nebulas and things like that. So getting right into it, I'll show you the setup. Okay, so what I have, of course, is a glass baking dish that I've used before. Doing macro, I usually have it flipped upside down, so I have just the straight surface. I also have some India ink, and in this case I have blue, red. I also have a sort of greenish turquoise in the back, and then the yellow. Now, what makes this yellow different is it's iridescent. Yeah, right. Say that fast 3 times. So the blue and yellow are not. They're just regular India ink. But it's this iridescent ink. Once it mixes in with the blue and the red, that starts giving you some really cool effect. So I'm just gonna put some of this in the glass dish. And of course I have my camera with a macro lens, 100 millimeter. And then again, I have the remote. And the reason I have this on a boom, this is actually a boom arm for one of my studio lights, but it also has that nice 1/4-inch screw head at the top, which allows me to put my camera on it. So that works really well. You could do this handheld, but you'd probably, if you're anything like me, you'd have to really up your shutter speed to the point where the shake wasn't so obvious. And the reason that I'm actually putting this on a boom is because when you're shooting macro, you have even at high f-stop, not f-stop, oh my God, at high aperture settings like f18, whatever, you still have a narrow depth of field because of the focal length is so short. So in order to get as much of this in focus as possible, it's better that I actually have this on a straight arm, shooting straight down, where everything is on the same level. So, all right, I'm gonna start putting some of this ink in here, and I'm just I really don't want those bubbles. And spread it around. And I think the mixture of the blue and red, which of course is going to give you purple, just gives it a really nice background. And we just put that in there. I'm not going to worry about mixing again. I want to keep these bubbles out of the way. That's kind of the effect I was originally going for. And you want to spread this out. So you have a fairly large area. You can't see this too well, but I'm getting some psychedelics in this blue and red. Of course, I'm also getting bubbles, which I don't want. So I push them off to the side. And then the last thing I do, or not the last thing, actually, I'm going to spread this out a little bit more. Well, hopefully I'm going to spread it out. And some yellow. And again, this is iridescent, so that actually might by itself might be kind of interesting. So that's to me, that's kind of reminiscent of fractal art. But what gets cool is if you wash it. Now, when I did this by accident, I actually had this in the sink and it was mostly dry. So this is kind of an experiment. And almost immediately, this is starting to fade and dissolve and just becoming really cool. That could almost be like a hurricane forming out in the Atlantic. All right. Now I'm at ISO 320, 15th of a second, still f11. So once again, when I started to wash out the dish, that's when I got what I think are some of the coolest effects. So that'll be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next one.